This morning, as we were walking in the garden, we saw a kite twisting helplessly in the breeze. Sometimes, like the kite, we find ourselves trapped in horrible situations. But more than the situation itself, what often limits us the most are two attitudes. This is not happening, and this is not fair. Now, if we can go beyond this is not happening and unfair to another way of looking at it, saying it's ugly, but I'm going to try and do something about it. There's always something that can be done to improve it. Well, then, that attitudinal shift can be a complete game changer. Some time ago, we had trapped a rat in a fairly robust rat trap, one that had probably caught many rats. But this one just kept pushing, ferociously pushing. And then we finally managed to open the trap and escape. It's never happened before, and it's never happened again. But even impossible situations can be changed if we really fight. What if the situation doesn't just keep us down, but wounds and cripples us? A while ago, Celia and I were walking in Cubbon Park when we noticed a crow that was hopping along. As we looked at it, we saw that one of its wings was broken. And as we watched it hop from here to there, we thought at first that it was going towards a bush, and in that bush it could get safety. It came close to the bush but continued. And as we followed it for about 20, 30, 40 feet, it came towards a very large tree, a huge, gigantic tree. And then we thought, oh, it's going to nest at the roots of the tree. But it didn't do that either. The tree's trunk had a gentle slope, and what the crow actually did was it hopped up the tree trunk. And we thought to ourselves, smart crow, it's going to go up, let's say about 10, 15 feet and nest there and be safe. But the crow didn't do that. It kept hopping up and up and up till it finally reached the tops of the tree, which was about 100, 150 feet high. We were amazed. And the lesson has stayed with us. As we related this story to a friend of ours who had a terrible paralyzing illness, he managed to pull himself out in 1.5 years. And he said the story made a great difference to me. For just like the broken wing crow, I too have been crippled by the illness, but I will not let the illness stop me. I too will climb the highest mountains. What if the imprisonment is a much longer term one? In an apocryphal story, a freedom fighter was sentenced to a very long prison term. And it was enough to send anybody into a depression, but not him. He turned round and told himself, normally when I'm caught up in the struggle, I have no time to think or to do much. But with prison, I get time to think. He wrote a classic text which went on to become a very inspiring book. But what if the degradation and humiliation very deep? The other day, a completely famished beggar, clothes tattered, ribs showing, asked us for some food. We gave him a packet of biscuits. He tore it open, but no, he did not stuff his face. Instead, he went to the corner of the street and gave it to some street dogs. He just turned a dark place into a lantern of hope. But what if it is not just wounds and humiliation? Death itself comes and erases us. The father of a student some years ago had passed away when in his late 40s, and the family was devastated. Plus, nobody knew where his accounts were. So the student asked us to contact the father's spirit, and talk to him. The father spoke to us and told us that there was a particular brown bag in a cupboard in a room, and there would be one folder, a yellow folder in it, and that folder would help them sort things out. When the family looked around in that room, they indeed found a kind of a brown bag as we had specified, and in it was a yellow folder that had everything neatly listed out. It proved very useful, but more than that, it reminded each of us that even death cannot imprison us. We are lights, we are souls, we are cosmic patterns. As we hold on to that, vast truths fill our horizons. Thanks for watching, for subscribing, and visiting creatorschild.com.